Right, so some of you guys might remember there were some leaks pointing towards a 27-inch mini LED display in the works, and the rumors kind of died down for that, but Ross Young now gives us an update regarding it, so let's delve into it. So yes, initially we thought we'd see this at WWDC, then of course there were apparent delays and it was pushed back to October, but now it's been pushed back once again and it's going to release in early 2023 instead. And if I'm being honest, I'm not surprised by these delays because Mini LED has seemingly been tough to produce. There's been many supply issues for the iPad Pros and MacBook Pros with Mini LED, and of course, there are already talks about Apple converting those products to OLED instead. And so the fact Apple's so quick to switch to OLED for these devices does show that Mini LED has been tough to work with and they're better off using OLED instead. And while that might get some of you guys wondering, why are we getting Mini LED in the first place? Well, if I'm being honest, I'm not too sure myself. I don't think it makes sense to have two 27-inch displays in the lineup. Apple ideally wants different sizes, and so if this was replacing the Pro display instead, that would make sense because the Pro consumers want the best display tech, and OLED on larger panels is not good enough yet, and so Mini LED for this low volume product does make sense. But this basically being the same size and dimensions as the Studio display, but of course with a Mini LED panel instead, kinda makes no sense. And so yes, a part of me would not be surprised if of course this never sees the light of day and Apple does kill this off. It's especially confusing when of course we could see 120Hz on this and Apple Silicon Macs can't push 5K 120Hz panels, and so there could be issues with the compatibility of this panel. Now I did read about some workarounds regarding this, such as Apple may be requiring two Thunderbolts to power this display, but that does seem pretty cumbersome and I doubt Apple's going to do that. So yes, I do have my doubts over the launch of this display. Personally, I still think it makes more sense if a bigger 6K Pro display replacement does get the Mini LED tech, and if it does get 120Hz, the upcoming Mac Pro should support it. And by the way, regarding that Mac, I do think the release of the display is going to be alongside the Mac Pro, because if you do take a look at past display launches, you will notice they release alongside other Macs. For example, the Studio display launched with the Mac Studio, and of course, the Pro display launched with the Mac Pro, so this new mysterious panel should launch with the Mac Pro refresh. And well, I don't think we're getting that till dub, so yes, I think that's when the display is going to launch. Then again, Apple could do a press release for this if they don't think it's worthy enough to announce on stage, especially after how embarrassing it was to announce a $1,000 stand on stage. I can see Apple copping out and doing a press release for this, since yes, I'm sure it's going to have a high price. And by the way, I do want to theorize that there is a chance this actually is the iMac Pro instead. Why I think this is because Ross Young initially thought the Studio display was a 27-inch iMac, and then later figured out that was not the case, and so maybe he's once again mixing this up for an iMac instead. Since Mark Gurman has told us we should see new iMacs in 2023, so of course the release of the display and the iMac do seem to match. And yeah, it definitely makes more sense that this is a 27-inch 120Hz iMac Pro instead. And to add on to this, a Mac rumor source actually heard about an iMac prototype that had a 27-inch XDR display, a black finish, and the M1 Max chip. And so yeah, that basically sounds like what Ross Young's describing to us, and I really think this display could be the iMac instead. But if it is a display, I'm gonna be confused by this launch. I don't think we need this. Anyways, let's delve into your comments regarding future Macs. So Alien AI 2.0 says, not excited for the upcoming price hikes for these MacBook Pros. Now, if you're referring to the US, I don't think there's going to be price hikes there because we were predicting the 14 series would get price hikes, but that was not the case. And so yes, I doubt such minor refreshes to the MacBook Pros are going to warrant a price hike. However, if you're referring to the rest of the world, then yes, we could see price hikes. We saw major price hikes with the 14 series, and so I'm pretty anxious about the pricing for these Macs, and if it's really outrageous, I think you're better off getting the 2021 models. Now, Isaac, I believe, apologies if I'm butchering your name, but they say the Mac Pro should release at the October event, since Apple ideally is going to stick to the 2-year transition that of course they did announce in 2020, and they also believe that yes, this chip should be called the X1 or the Z1. And I'm glad you agree with that. And regarding the release, yes, that is a fair point. Apple does want to stick to the 2-year cycle, but of course, do remember that with the chip shortage, I don't think Apple's going to stick to that plan strictly as such. Since let's say the iPhone needs the chip resources first, Apple's easily going to do that and delay the Mac Pro release because it's a low volume product. And yeah, I guess they could announce it and then release it months later like they've done in the past, but ultimately I do still think the Mac Pro's not going to release just yet, and we might have to wait till WWDC. Anyways, they also ask whether the Mac Pro could get 4 M2 Ultra chips instead of 4 M2 Max chips. Now that could give us ludicrous performance, and yeah, there is a possibility Apple could do this, but once again, it depends on the chip shortage. I'm sure producing such a high-end chip is not gonna be easy, so of course, Apple might have to limit themselves and give us a chip based on 2 M2 Ultras instead of 4 chips. But once we do see chip production go back to normal, then yes, maybe I could see Apple do this. So Tom and Tech hopes M2 Pro, Max and Ultra are 3nm since M2 was a lackluster refresh and they want bigger upgrades. And yes, I'm also hoping for the same because for the most part, the M2 Pro / Max, that's a mouthful, but anyways, these Macs are gonna be pretty boring because the Mac Mini and the MacBook Pro are not getting new designs, and so the chip upgrades have to be the main USP. So of course, to make up for the lack of upgrades, I'm hoping Apple does give us chips based on the 3nm process. So Opus Digital Audio says, I want an M2 Tornado chip, and yeah, I know they're joking, but I do honestly think there is a small chance Apple does go with that, especially with how ridiculous Apple's naming scheme is becoming with their chips. So Jan says, I want a normal 27-inch or bigger 32-inch iMac. They were a great option for years for an affordable workhorse, and they complain about the Mac Studio setup being pretty expensive, and so they want Apple to give us a successor to the 27-inch iMac. And I do think we're getting that with the iMac Pro, because while the name might be iMac Pro, this is not going to be a replacement to the original iMac Pro, but instead is going to replace the 27-inch iMac, and so the price of this should be somewhere around the 14-inch base MacBook Pro, and I purely think Apple's using the Pro branding to, of course, differentiate this from the base iMac that, of course, is for regular consumers. So yes, hopefully Gurman is right, and we do see a bigger version of the iMac launch relatively soon. Anyways, that's about it, guys. But of course, tell me your thoughts regarding this report in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video link above on details regarding the M2 iPad Pros. And on that note, see ya, peeps.